I started eating pork roll as a kid. Always liked it, didn't know why. Then as I grew older, I learned to like it more. And then when I moved away for a short period, I realized it was only here. And so I said, well, this is very unique. And I had an idea to do a food truck, and pork roll was the only thing I thought about doing. It wasn't like I had, well, I'll do empanadas or I'll do creative tacos. Like, my mindset was to do a truck and just make pork roll sandwiches. I had an ad agency in New York that had hit some notoriety and success. Things in New York imploded when the economy got really bad, 08 into 09. Fought for a long time to keep the agency going. Finally made the conclusion with the other guys at the agency that this is never going to survive. And then Hurricane Sandy happens to come trooping along. And then my wife of 12 years goes, I don't want to be married to you anymore. And then my father dies. So I'm like, oh my God, you know, what's going to happen? And I'll never forget the night I went to a friend's house and all this turmoil was going on in my life. My dad had just died like 6 weeks ago. Hurricane, everybody's displaced, all this crap. And I said, you know, I've always had this idea I want to do a pork roll truck. And she looked me dead in the eye. She said, don't talk about it, just freaking do it. Stop talking about it, take charge of your life and do it. A guy that I knew who called me up, who has a trailer, a food trailer, and I don't know, he's kind of, you know, one of these little aspiring food truck chef guys. So we were talking on the phone, and I joked, you know, about trucks, and I said, you know, if you know about any decent trucks, let me know, I'm always looking for one. He goes, as a matter of fact, I know one down in Forked River. And I go, get out, really? And he sent me pictures of it. And the minute I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, it's exactly like my other truck. I gotta have it. You know, finding a truck is hard, putting it together, learning all the moving pieces you need, you know, about commissaries and food safety regulations, and every town's got different rules where you can go. And, you know, a lot of people think you can just get in your truck and drive any place and make money. And if that was the case, heck, I probably have a full feature movie about me, but it's hard. You just can't go a lot of places. So a lot of trial and error. It's kind of how you seem to learn. But I think now there's an actual New Jersey Food Truck Association. There are more trucks in New Jersey. You know what I mean? The education pool for others that want to get into it is there to tap into, to kind of learn how it works. And I've always been very open with people when they come to the truck. I laugh, they'll ask me a few questions, and within like 30 seconds I'll either say, do you have a truck or do you want a truck? Breaking down is probably the hardest thing, you know, because you have to be part mechanic, part cook, part manager, part business guy. There's so many moving parts to a food truck, but you have to love it. You really do. You can't say, I kind of like it, or you'll never survive. I told you, it's like we're carnival workers with college degrees in all our teeth. It's very similar, man. You load up, you work hard, you're dirty as can be when you're done, and then you got to clean the truck. But I don't like dirty food trucks. I swear to God, to me the most important thing is that they look clean. That was it. For me, I just didn't, you know what I mean? I couldn't find a job. Like, I really couldn't. I even was on the CBS Evening News when I was working as a barista at a coffee bar. I mean, I was in my late 40s. And here I am making espressos and lattes. And CBS News was doing a story about the jobs report and all these people that fell out of the numbers. And I really was an exact example of that. When you always heard them talk about unemployment and, you know, millions of Americans who just don't even factor into this unemployment number. I was truly one of those people. And I have to tell you, a lot of the other guys I've met who are running food trucks now, we all kind of have a similar story where we had a career and a life and things just changed dramatically. And some people, you know, try to get back into what they know. I did try that. It wasn't working out. And that's when this was the next logical route to go to try to do this. So 3-4 years later, here we are. So Max is having Hawaiian, and what are you having, bro? Well, it became pork roll in 1906. Not because anybody wanted to call it that, the government made them call it that. When the product was invented in Trenton, New Jersey by one John Taylor in 1856, that's pre-women's suffrage, that's pre-Civil War, that's pre-Lincoln being shot. Like, America is just finding its way in the world. John Taylor invents this product called Taylor's Prepared Ham. It was like a poor man's heat and eat sliced ham.
Man, they don't want any of my action. That's right, man, I run this town.
Back at that period in American history, if you were an affluent rich guy, you had ham steak with your eggs in the morning. If you were a working class poor guy, you had bacon, which at that point really was the fat belly of the pig that most didn't want, but we figured out how to salt it, obviously, and make it delicious.
Oh, thanks, man. Good, brother, how are you? Nice. Dude, is this what I think it is? Johnny Porkroll gets love, man. They just bring me the accolades.
1906, government passes the first of many to come Food and Drug Acts. I think it was called Fairness in Food or Fair Food and Drug Act of 1906, later to come known as all these FDA acts we hear about today. And the government said to them, you cannot call it that, it's not ham. Ham is a cut from a pig with a bone in it. Pork roll is chopped up pork, reconstituted together and seasoned and cured in a sack to taste like ham. So he said, look, you can't call it that. We think this product should be categorized as pork roll. And that's how it began. And then it became John Taylor's Pork Roll in 1906 going forward.
So you want to hear the craziest thing? So I get an email the other day from QVC. Hi, my name is Liz. I'm the executive producer for In the Kitchen with David, our #1 cooking show. We asked our audience to nominate food trucks that they felt were unique, distinctive. Well, I'm happy to tell you after 896 submissions, you've been selected as one of the 8. So QVC is going to do a segment on this.
I don't know. It's hard to explain. It just has deep, deep emotional attachment to people in New Jersey, and even people that don't like it. And it's funny to me, you know, living in like this area, Monmouth County, I have a lot of people work in New York. You know, they marry people that aren't from New Jersey. Not all of them, but a good group of them do. And they're always like, ew, I don't get it. I don't get this pork roll thing. I didn't grow up here. But Anthony Bourdain came to Asbury last year, walked the boardwalk, all these fancy pants, you know, farm to table, I'm making my own goat cheese, blah, blah, blah. You know, little modern John Taylors doing their own thing. And what did he eat when he came here? What did he eat? Did he go have pasta? No. Did he have a pizza? No. He went to Frank's Deli on Main Street and had pork roll, egg, and cheese.
So neat. This oven, this is the special oven because it has oil in it, right? This is the oven with the oil?
Yeah, the only...
Yeah, explain to them. This is from Spain? Where's this oven from?
What annoys me to no end is when people walk up to my truck, which is black and white and says pork roll on it in giant letters and goes, what do you sell? And I go, what do you think I sell? Pork roll? I go, good, you're very smart. Do you have eggs? And I always look at them and I go, eggs? People eat this with eggs? Oh, damn it, how didn't I know this?
Some people will call this a Kaiser roll. They even call it a Kaiser roll, but I call it a hard roll because ideally, I like to get the bread the day in advance, let it sit overnight. The outside gets like a rock hard, but the inside is like a pillow, as I joke. So it just forms like a clamshell around the sandwich, and it's unbelievable.
Let me see, do we have any eggs? And then they'll say, you have cheese too? And I'm like, I just want to jump out of my truck and strangle them. It's like walking into a pizzeria and going, do you have tomato sauce? And you got dough, do you? Yeah, I'm a pizzeria. That's what I need to make pizza. I have those things.
What's up, man? The land of bacon. It's funny. I probably should sell more, but these are all different bacons. Pork belly.
What did he say?
Beef. It's crazy, man. Pork belly. Leedy's, that's a really good one. This is all pork belly. Strangely enough, this is Canadian bacon. And it's really ham. It's kind of like the pork roll Taylor ham thing. This truly is ham. See that? It's a cut of meat. It's not processed. Cured. But they call it Canadian bacon, but it's ham. We call pork roll.
When they come up and indignantly say, can I have Taylor ham, egg, and cheese? Now, mind you, I could give them Trenton, I could give them Case's pork roll. They wouldn't know the difference. They really wouldn't, most of them. But they just love to say to me because they know it sends me to outer orbit when I just go nuts, like, ah. So I've given up. I don't yell at them anymore. I just politely tell them. Food, as I was saying, is really just such a universal way of pleasure. You have to eat. It's something you share with each other. And coming from an advertising background, I knew that emotion was the key thing to any success of any brand. I don't care if it's Mercedes, JetBlue, a airline, a beer, any product. There's a deep emotional attachment you get to certain things. And pork roll in New Jersey has that for miles. I mean, it's so generationally embedded into our culture here in New Jersey.
just illustrates the point that these older women come get a pork roll cheese sandwich with mustard. I make it, enjoy your sandwich, ladies, bye. They go sit down, they come back to the truck. You know, normally to say, hey, that was really great sandwich or whatever, which you love hearing. But they said to me, and this is where it just clarity hit, like that moment of clarity when they said to me, you have no idea what eating that sandwich meant to us. When we were younger, our father used to bring us to Asbury, and we would drive down to go to the beach, and we would always go, there was a little stand back down in the boardwalk that sold, Taylor had a stand, Taylor Sandwich Shop, and they just sold pork roll, egg and cheese, and pork roll and cheese. But to them, sitting there at that age in their life, older now, thinking back to their childhood with their father there, it just spans back generations. And anytime anything you do in marketing can have a deep emotional attachment, you're halfway home. And that's not saying I'm exploiting it, I'm just feeding it.